The United States, in its effort to control the drug trade coming from Colombia, has been using cancer-linked chemicals when carrying out aerial spraying campaigns on illegal coca plants. The leaves of the plant being grown throughout Colombia are used to make cocaine. The glyphosate-based herbicide Roundup is the most common herbicide used by the U.S. to fight Colombian cocaine harvests. More than 4 million acres of land have been sprayed over the past 2 decades to kill the coca plants. Jose, we see the World Health Organization, their branch that deals with cancer, has come out and said, well, hey, Roundup, the biggest, most common herbicide used, is for sure a carcinogen, can't deny it. And now, that's pissing a lot of people off in Colombia because they're saying, well, hey, this is what you're using to literally crop dust and spray acres and acres of land. And it affects a lot of people, essentially, because you have the winds, these things travel.
I don't know who's worse, if Monsanto or the coke dealers.
Yeah, so that's
I really don't know. I really. Here's the thing: is this kind of hypocrisy towards the different substances that we deal with as a human race. On one end, yes, let's spray out this cocaine that might get to the United States and infect some people with drug addiction. But to prevent that, let's spray them with cancer-causing substances that for sure is going to kill them.
And they actually, people have said that before, and they came out and they said, well, it's not as bad as what cocaine does. Literally, that's what they said. I'm not.
I mean, that's a broader debate.
Yeah.
Because of all the implications of the trafficking of the drugs, and if we can't isolate to the substance level where like, oh, cocaine versus glyphosate. But what is true is that we see companies like Monsanto putting deadly chemicals in our food chain, and no one is doing anything about it. But then we send, and then let's put it on a foreign country without asking permission for it to kill this terrible, terrible thing called coca plant, before it's produced, before anything. And the people that deal with it is poor agricultures that are dealing with the crops. It's not, you're not killing. It's like they say, well, it was just drug dealers that are getting affected. Well, there's not drug dealers. There are families that work the land, and that's pretty scary.
Yeah, and it's pissing off a lot of Colombians, even the FARC, who put the spraying of these chemicals in part of their peace deals, and they want to get rid of them. Obviously, they equate it with what we did in Vietnam when we were spraying the jungles to kill off all the trees so that we could see our enemy easier. Same thing. Those caused decades and decades and generations of birth defects and cancer, and it still occurs now because of what we were doing back then. And we're seeing the same thing on a much smaller scale, obviously. But yeah,
but it's the same type thing. I mean, this glyphosate isn't just not killing the coca plants.
Right.
It's just going to the soil, getting absorbed. Whatever they plant there and whatever they eat is there forever. Generations after generations of Colombians that are going to eat cancer-causing chemicals,
right,
because of a U.S. policy.
Right, and you know what? You can't deny it. You see a sharp increase in miscarriages, in different skin conditions in these areas where they spray the most.
We talked about the autism not too long ago, and how it's correlated to the use of Roundup.
Exactly.
And still we can't rally people around to be as harsh against glyphosate as we are as other street drugs that there are. And that's hypocritical.
It is, and even the Colombian economically is actually being affected by this. They had to pay $15 million to settle a lawsuit that they had with Ecuador, where they were spraying near the border, for economic damages, for health issues that they were causing all over there. But the question is, we want to know what you guys think. Do you think the U.S. would be spraying these very same chemicals if this cocaine was being grown in the U.S.? I'm convinced they might. Let us know what you guys think by commenting, and of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the Lip TV for more.